Hey folks, Steve here. How you doing? Hey, I just wanted to intro this video and let you know what's coming up. If you like work compilation videos, this one's for you. If you don't like work compilation videos, you need to go find a tool video because you ain't gonna like this. So that's what this video is. It's just a compilation of work. What are we doing? Well, my wife and I had to go downstate about 3 hours from where we live down into Pennsylvania, and we had to basically kind of get ready a house that her grandmother owned because her grandmother was not able to stay in the home anymore. She had to go to a nursing home, and the family needed to sell the house. So they just put it up on the market as it was, and it was literally dated from the 50s when the grandfather finished the house. He built the whole thing, and other than just basic repairs that he made along the way and the fact that they wallpapered like every other year it seemed, but they never took the wallpaper down, they just wallpapered over top, that it never really changed. And so when I guess prospective homeowners were coming in, looking around, they're like, oh no, but not hell no. You know, they're seeing all kinds of, you know, just dated whatever. It wasn't move-in ready. I don't see that. I would see like, hey, wow, cool, okay, we can work with this. I can do all this work. This is free, you know, I can do this for free. But a lot of people can't do that. So it was once they started getting really super lowball numbers for the area, and they knew that they should do easily $200,000 better, then it was decided, hey, Spence, you have some skills. Why don't you go fix the house? So my wife and I went down 3 hours. I took the tool trailer, got set up. And basically I spent one weekend, a long weekend the first time, and then came back a second weekend, like back to back. And then there was a gap of time where my wife went down and she was doing painting and a whole bunch of things that didn't require me. And then I came in eventually 2 weekends to kind of wrap up, if you will. So that's kind of how this works. All of this is just kind of a mosh with picture-in-picture to show you. But here's what we did. I've got a little list here down below my camera. So it was at least for me 4 weekends to do what I had to do. You don't see everything because I was working and didn't have time to set the camera up. But we took wallpaper out, lots and lots and lots of wallpaper out. I took some paneling out. Whenever all that came out, I had a lot of wall repair to do. Some trim came out. I had to repair all that trim, or repair all those walls. Certainly my wife, I did a little painting, she did a lot of painting. We let the kitchen stay, and the upstairs bathroom had to stay. Other than minor repairs, we just had to go with it. We didn't have time to fully do that one. You'll see it. It's beautiful. Certainly 1950s. But I'll tell you what, it's perfect. I mean, it looks great. You know, it's just not the bathroom I'd put in these days. What else did we do? This house had exclusively those large hot water baseboards, so I went through, scuffed them all up, taped them all off, and painted every one of them with like 7 coats of rattle can white, because they were always painted, you know, the chartreuse that the room was painted. It's like, oh. Let's see what else they do. We pulled all kinds of carpet. We did all kinds of floor repair. I pulled a lot of trim, replaced the trim, replaced all the switches. Eventually, like one of the last weekends, I replaced all the switches and all the receptacles all the way around. Replaced all the new overhead lights, with the exception of 3 like really cool looking dated small kind of like little spotlights. They were kind of conical. They looked really cool. I'd have pulled those down and kept them. I thought they were cool, but they went with the house. We changed out all of the overhead lights. We did subcontract out, had flooring people come in, refinish all the hardwood, put down new carpet, put down new vinyl in the weeks in between when I was there. Because the carpet went in where there was just vinyl tile to begin with, I had to actually cut down several doors and reinstall those, so I did that. And then this video will end with a walkthrough, and so I'll kind of walk through. And unfortunately, wherever I put the, hey, this is what it looks like beforehand, there's not a lot of that. I thought there was a lot more, but I start out with, here's what we have, and then you'll see the walkthrough when we're done. All right, well, hey, there you go. That's what's coming up. I hope you enjoy it. If you would like to subscribe, the channel's growing, and it's because of you. So thank you very much for that. I really, really, really appreciate it. All right, well, you take care. Have a good one. I know you deserve it, and I hope you enjoy the video. See you on the next one. Bye. Hey, folks. Steve here. How you doing? Hey, I'm in a garage. Yay! I rarely ever get to do this. I'm about 3 hours away from my house. I'm here this weekend and next weekend, which is a long weekend, and we're going to try and do whatever we can to get this house ready to sell. It's a family member who went in a nursing home. We need to sell the house in order to support the nursing home. So, That being said, I have a garage to work in. The house is completely cleared out, so we're taking wallpaper down and all kinds of other things, swapping out outlets and, you know, freshening everything up, taking carpet up, hopefully exposing some hardwood. We'll have some other contractors come in, I think, to maybe refinish hardwood and a few other things that I frankly don't have time for. But anyway, so this is this weekend, so I'm going to set up in the garage. I brought my workbench down, and we'll stage out of the garage, and we're going to have a good time with this. So as we get a list around, I'll share that with you, and then I'll just share some snippets along the way of what we started with and what we are doing. We've actually already gotten started a little bit, so it's not a pristine interior at this point. All set up now, power to the trailer, got my bench up just in case I want to stage off of it or do anything to it, do anything on it. And the first thing I need to do inside is get a steamer plugged in with an extension cord, and we have to do a lot of steaming, and really there's some serious wallpaper removal in here. Then after that we'll figure out what we need to do with the walls to get them ready for paint. Alright, so this is the idea. We have, oh, I can't see it, okay, wallpaper. We've taken this down, the walls need to be scraped and everything else, but and get ready for paint. But anyway, we're doing things like this. We have entire rooms. It's just getting ready. It's an old 1950s house that's beautiful, but just needs to be updated because it's not getting the offers that it should. So, you know, things like this. I don't know what we're going to do in here. I'm assuming this wallpaper will come down as well. But we can't do anything right now. We don't have the time for like swapping out appliances or countertops or anything like that. And we have all of this over here where it's, you know, countertop and backsplash and, you know, embedded. There's no real easy swap on that one. So those things will stay. Those things will stay. Otherwise, this is what we're doing. So right now I'm taking all the hardware down, anything that's screwed, nailed, whatever, taking all that out, getting ready. There's some paneling that has to come out. So besides the wallpaper, paneling, everything's coming out. We'll leave the trim, and we're just getting everything back to paint ready to freshen it up as much as possible so people that don't have vision can come in here and see what the house is, that they're ready to buy it, that they can live in it without feeling like they're living in an old person's home, and that you know, then eventually they can figure out what they wanted to do with it. Some people have vision, they come in, see a house like this and go, oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, and this is looking all be changed. And some people just can't look past this paneling. Me, I don't even see the paneling. I see a room, I see the structure of the room, I see an outdated but functional fireplace. And so, you know, I'm looking at potential here. I don't see necessarily the paneling as an issue, but that's not everybody. This is unusual. I was not looking for this. This is the attic. Right here. Because it's split level. Let me flip this around. Wow. When my wife and her sister were cleaning the house out, getting it ready to sell the first time, they cleaned all that out and vacuumed it and everything, so oh my gosh, I can see why. Back to sanding. The goal is that all of these walls will get painted and the trim will get painted. The walls will be probably a neutral color because it's trying to sell, and the trim will all become white. And so what I'm doing is I'm going around and doing a light sand on all of the trim that will get painted. I am removing the shoe molding for areas that will get carpet because you don't need the shoe molding anymore. And the light sand is just going to score the surface so the latex paint has something to stick to and it's more likely to last longer. And I'm also doing the same thing for the radiators, the baseboard heat, in that because we're trying to do this very quickly over 2 weekends, to take everything apart and send it out on sawhorses and do something to it and then reassemble everything. And in fact, it's nailed, not screwed into the wall.
is that my idea is we're going to tape it all off and we're going to spray paint it. I don't have a sprayer, so we're just going to buy cans and we're going to rattle can the thing just to get it back to a neutral white color, I guess. And so for that, I'm also doing a light sand. Right now, I've been consistently using 150 grit, and I've just been doing hand sand because of the uneven surfaces. There's no need to get out a sander. So it's windows, window frames, door frames. We're not painting the windows themselves, but the window frames inside will get painted. All the baseboard, all the door trim, all the door casings, all the door jambs. So that's what we're doing, getting it ready for paint. My wife is stripping a wallpaper with a steamer, with hot water, and with a scraper. And those surfaces will have repair. I'll joint compound all of those because these are plaster walls, so what repairs I need to make, I can make with joint compound. Sand it all down, and then everything on the walls will get painted with a 1/2-inch nap. And that'll give a little bit of texture, so any unevenness on the walls will disappear somewhat in the texture. All right, that's what we're doing, and there's your tip. Sand it down a little bit, score it, get it ready for paint, so the paint will stick. I'm not a painter, I'm just doing what I was told. Behind me, you see basically like a wainscot area and chair rail. That chair rail goes all the way up into the upstairs hallway, and that all comes down as well because all of this wallpaper comes out for painting. So now I'm on to stripping out all of this chair rail. All right, let's get to it. How you doing?
Hey folks, Steve here. How you doing? Well, welcome to weekend number 2 of Let's Get Nana's House Ready to Sell project. And we are just doing more of the same from last week. We are taking walls like this that have been stripped. Now, it just kind of flashes out. Taking walls like this that have been stripped of wallpaper because there is wallpaper everywhere in this house, as was indicative of the 50s and 60s, at least in these types of houses in this type of neighborhood. And as all that has been stripped, we have exposed these are plaster walls. So, you know, really nice and, well, it doesn't sound solid, but it's nice and solid plaster walls. And in the process of taking out all of the wallpaper, of course, there are some digs and scratches, and there might have been some pre-existing, of course, behind the wallpaper issues with the plaster. So I'm just going back through with joint compound, and I am finding any digs, any whatever imperfections that I can. I'm going skim coating them, coming back in some cases, second coating them, getting everything sanded. And with my second sand, all of this, all of this should be ready for paint. So that's what I'm doing this morning, is just trying to get the upstairs done, and so I can walk away from this and say, hey, you know what? All of that's ready for paint. And I'm in my last room. This is the bathroom. So you can see behind me this lovely, lovely tile. I think it's gray and yellow, I've been told. I can't tell color. So with that, my wife will have a wonderful job matching paint. She's going to go with, I don't know what she's going to go with. But anyway, she's like super, super good with color. People pay her to do this. She's a color consultant in one of her many, many roles as designer and just all kinds of stuff. So with that being said, I want to walk out of here getting this thing ready for paint. And then I'll be able to move on to electric, and every fixture in this house is going to get switched out for, I think, white. And so, I've got my work cut out for me. We have 3 days, and because I have a long weekend, and with that, I want to make sure that when I go out of here, that I have left this thing just ready for paint. There's nothing else to do that would require skills that I have. Where I find a dig that I did not fill, or because I have really close eyes on, or if I find that a fill did not take well, it's a very deep nail hole and the drywall dried in a depression. And so I keep the pencil with me, circle it, and when I come back through for the second coat or the final coat, whatever it is, I'll know exactly what I need to do. And most of the time they're so narrow, or they're so shallow, that will be just a quick flash. It's really just a quick skin coat, and you can screed it really flat. And so the sanding is very minimal when you come back. All right, folks, this bathroom is ready to go for coat number 2, really, and it'll be coat number 3 on the soft above the tub. And what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to mix up some 20-minute mud. I think we call it hot mud. In any case, it's a little bit different in how it actually, the binding ages, I believe.
So that'll be next, and what that'll allow me to do is that'll allow me to come back in and sand today, and so I can walk away from this room and have it paint ready in as much as what I'm going to do. So hot mud is next rather than just regular joint compound. All right, let's get to it. You can see it out there. I actually have my trailer backed up to the garage, and I have my workbench in the garage. I might have already shown that. Yay! It happens very rarely. I will say that having that trailer on hand, or however I would be organized, I didn't have to think about the fact that I'm doing drywall today. And so I went out there, my 12-inch trowel is right there, didn't even have to think about it. So great for having all the tools with me when I need them in the unanticipated case that I need something. All right, on to the next. I see what the handyman is talking about from the handyman YouTube channel, where he tries to show walls, and he tries to show the smoothness of the walls or something going on with the walls, and there's just so much brightness in the drywall, the joint compound, everything, where it's hard to really get it to show up on camera. So that I'm going to treat like a level 3.8 finish, maybe close to level 4. It'll paint just fine, but with the volume of plaster and irregularities in the plaster, I fixed most of it, but I haven't fixed all of it. So, you know, like I said, I'm punting on this one, getting it just as much as I need to for this house to sell. All right, on to the next clip. So now I'm on to trim. It's just baseboard and shoe mold, I believe. So I went ahead, racked up the table saw because I will have a little need for that, and it was literally right there on the back of my trailer, and my bench was set up, no reason not to. And right outside the front door where I'm going in and out of, I've got it. I have my miter set up, and also one of my miter extensions as well. So pretty efficient. And to be efficient, I need to get back.